What's up there, YouTube? Okay, so I wanted to have a discussion with you guys today um, about my health. Now, I've had some health issues lately, and I'm one of these people that I never ever have health issues. Like if I'm sick, if I have a health issue, it's like extremely rare for me to have any type of health issue. Like for the past 7 years, I work at a hospital. I'm an electrician at a hospital. Since the video and photography thing slowed down after moving to Florida, I got a job because I was bored. I was actually running out of stuff to do. So I got a job as an electrician again, which is what I did from 1985, I think, until I quit to do photo and video. Anyway, so I got a job as a supervisor at a hospital as an electrician. Anyway, so for the past 7 years, that's what I've done. It's going right on 7 years now. Actually, it might be over 7 years. But either way, in the past 7 years, I think I might have missed one day because I was sick. I've never, ever called in sick to work, ever. I never do. I have all this PTO, personal time off, time built up. I work all the time. I take my holiday, my vacation during the holidays, and I go do things. Or if I have a wedding to shoot, I take time off and go do that. But for the most part, I'm never taking days off because of my health. So I'm like, I walk 10,000 steps a day. And I'm going to tell you a little backstory here about what happened for the past 2 months or so. And I don't know if you can tell, I made a video, it was maybe a month ago about this Hohem microphone. And what I did, I said I'm going on a diet. And that was back in December. I think that was in December. So I went on a diet. But anyway, let me tell you this whole story. If you don't mind, I'm going to tell you guys what happened with me and why I haven't been online or doing much lately. I decided to go on a diet. So I was already cutting back. So let's go back to, say, October of last year, September, October of last year, 2023. So I had a problem. I had a little bit of blood in my urine one day. And I'm the kind of guy that I don't go to the doctor for anything, but I was pretty sure it had something to do with drinking soft drinks all the time. So I was drinking all these soft drink, Diet Cokes, and I was putting them in my cooler, taking them to work, and I'd drink one, at lunchtime, and I'd drink another, I drink a cup of coffee in the morning, then I drink a Diet Coke at lunch, and then I drink a Diet Coke before I left for work. Then I'd go to work and I'd drink one with my meal, and then on my way home, I'd drink one on the way home. I mean, I was drinking 3 or 4 of these things a day, and I never drank water. I would always drink either Diet Coke or iced tea, never just water. So what happened was I had a little bit of blood in my urine, and I got scared, and I thought, oh my God, have I got something? So I looked up and they said it's possibly a kidney stone. You possibly have a kidney stone, and it's from drinking nothing. You need to drink more water. So I quit drinking the diet drinks because plus they're bad for you. And at the same time, all of a sudden, it just went away. That was it. I started drinking water and tea, and mostly tea. But I drank a lot more water. Anyway, it went away and it didn't come back. If it came back or if I had more issues, I'd go to the doctor. I'd be like, oh, I got something going on. I need to go to the doctor. But anyway, so it went away and I figured I fixed myself. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, I solved my own problem, which is what I'm usually doing. Time goes on and it gets around the end of November and I go down to, in December, Christmas comes, and after Christmas, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go on a diet on New Year's, blah, 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 And so I go down to visit my dad. 2 years ago, I had an issue with, it's a prostate issue. When you get in your 50s, you have prostate issues where it's harder to pee or something like that, to urinate. And they're infrequent, or you get up in the night to go. I wasn't getting up like 3 or 4 times a night, but I'd get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, or 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning and use the restroom. And go a little, and then I'd go back down to bed, and then it became an urgency where I have to go, you know. And so I called my dad about it, and I told him what had happened. He goes, "Oh, it's normal. It's your prostate. It happens to all of us." He said, "That started happening in my 50s also." And I was like, "Okay," because I'm 57 now. My birthday was in November, and I turned 57. I was thinking, okay, it's pretty common, 50, you know, in my 50s, no big deal. So I noticed since changing the way I drank the stuff and drinking more water, it had changed slightly. So now it was a little bit harder to go, and it wasn't as steady or hard of a stream. And I mean, I'm being real open with you guys because I thought maybe, you know, why not tell these people? I'm sure there's plenty of people on here that have had the same type of issue. But I didn't think anything of it because I thought, okay, it's a prostate thing. It's not going to be as heavy because I've got a prostate issue. Come the end of December, beginning of January, well, it was the end of December. After Christmas, I wanted to go visit my dad. So I called my dad. I'm like, hey, I'm going to come down and visit. So I went down. My dad lives in Cocoa, Florida. I went down to visit my dad. So when I get down there, I walk in and he goes, "Holy cheese, you've gained weight." And I was like, "Yeah, I have. You know, I noticed I gained weight." He's like, "You're looking like your brother," which my brother is quite a bit larger than me. And I was thinking, oh man, you know, I'm looking like Bill. That's one thing. I don't, you know, I was always the skinny punk growing up. I was the skinny kid. My brother was the one that was big and, you know, he's bigger than me. He's bigger boned. He's always bigger than me. And I've always been the skinny punk guitar player. I was never the, you know, the big guy. So I thought, oh my gosh, if he's noticing it, I must be looking bad. I really need to cut back. I had already planned on going on New Year's resolution of going on a diet. So New Year's starts, and New Year's Day, I get up and I started doing a fasting thing. So I'd get up and I drank a bottle of water with lemon. And then I drank another bottle of water at lunchtime, you know, before lunch. So I drank one in the morning, then I had a cup of coffee, black coffee. And then lunchtime comes, I drink a bottle of water and I eat something small for lunch. And then I go to, you know, well, and then that evening, I worked out also. I got up, first thing I did was I worked out, drank a glass of water, you know, a bottle of water. I did push-ups and sit-ups and stuff like that. And then at noon, I went riding my bike. I rode my bike around the block a couple times. I felt pretty good. So I go to work. On the next day, I get up, do the same thing. And then I have one small meal in the evening, like a salad. And I've got these little salads from Walmart or whatever, a little salad from Publix, little salads, and I'll get a salad, and that's all I eat. And then when I get home, I don't eat anything, but before bed, I'll drink a bottle of water. I'll have a bottle of water with my salad. No big deal. Well, I noticed I got up, and after like a week of the diet, I noticed that my feet were kind of puffy. Like my ankles, my feet were a little bit puffy. And I felt like they felt tense when I was laying in bed. I could feel them as I moved my legs, and I thought, man, my skin feels tight. So I go to work, and when I get home, I go to take my sock off, and there's like a big, huge indentation from my sock to my calf, like almost an inch. I thought, my gosh, I've got a lot of swelling around my ankle. And then like it would go away. So during the week, I felt pretty good. I was doing my salad, I was working out in the day, you know, I felt pretty good, but it didn't seem like I was losing much weight, but I thought, okay, eventually I'm gonna start losing weight. On the weekend comes, and I work at night, so I work in the evenings. So when I go to work at 6 o'clock, I eat my salad, drink water, and then at 9 o'clock, I'll drink a black coffee or a coffee with a little bit of cream in it, whatever. And then that's my break. That's all I have is a cup of coffee. I don't eat anything. And then I come home and I might drink a bottle of water before bed, lay down, go to bed. Everything's fine. I don't eat at night. So everything's going fine. But the weekend, I work Friday night, and then Saturday, I have to be back up almost an hour away from where I live at 7 in the morning. So I'm getting up early, and I drink a little coffee and get in the car and leave. And I don't eat anything because I'm doing like a fasting thing from 6 o'clock at night until noon the next day. So I'm normally not supposed to eat anything until noon. But I figure it's the weekend. and then we have a break. If you work in the morning, you have a break at like 9 o'clock, and there's a cafeteria where I work, and I go in there and I'm like, okay, I'll get a couple eggs. I'll go ahead and eat something because I've been up and working and doing stuff. I'm not really working, but anyway, I get up and because I'm supervising. But anyway, I get up and I grab a couple eggs and some bacon because it's like a keto diet. It's low carb. I'm not eating any carbs, no bread or anything like that. But, I eat a couple pieces of bacon and a couple eggs and no salt on them. I'm not salting them up, but the bacon is salty. So I eat that, and then at noon or so, we finish up on Saturdays, and I take off and come back home, and then I'll decide to make something to eat. I decided to make corned beef and cabbage. And I was just, because I saw it, and I was like, oh, I should make some corned beef and cabbage. So I get to make the corned beef and cabbage, and I didn't even realize this, but I make it, and Saturday, every weekend, it seems like every weekend, I just feel like crap. Like on Saturday and Sunday, my weekends are ruined. I'm off, but I feel terrible. Like I got headaches and I just don't feel good. I just feel crappy. And I end up sleeping all these extra hours. And I'm like, I'm sleeping. I'm already tired because I only got like 4 hours of sleep on Saturday, which is normal. But then I come home and I get something to eat and I lay down, I go to sleep, and I wake up Saturday afternoon and I feel like crap and I'm having problem urinating and all this other stuff is happening to me. And I just don't get it. I'm going to work on Monday. I'm like, I don't get it. I feel like crap on the weekend. I feel, pretty decent during the week. I'm exercising and all that stuff, but on the weekend comes and I feel terrible. So I made this corned beef and cabbage, which I love corned beef and cabbage. I love cabbage, and I made it. And I ate a plate of it. I ate some extra on the corned beef, because I was hungry. So I ate it, and that Saturday night, I had the worst. It felt like my head was about to explode. I had the worst headache. So I take a couple Tylenol or something and go to bed. And I told my daughter, I told her the next day on Sunday, I was like, man, I don't get it. Every weekend I feel terrible. Last night I had this splitting headache. She said, what'd you eat? I said, corned beef and cabbage. She said, it's the sodium. She said, you better check your blood pressure. She said, go to the doctor and check your blood pressure. This is last weekend. So I was like, okay, I'll go check my blood pressure. She said, yeah, you've got something going on that's not right. You're eating stuff that's high in sodium and now you're getting headaches. She said, drink milk or something. I was like, well, I don't drink milk because I'm like on a diet thing and whatever, I'll just drink my water. I thought, okay, I'll schedule an appointment. She's hounding me over it. You need to schedule an appointment. So I scheduled one for last Monday. Sunday, I just felt like I felt down the dump. I felt terrible. I dumped out the corned beef and cabbage. I ate something small, but I just still didn't feel good. I felt bad. I didn't, I wasn't urinating. My legs are puffy. I'm having all kind of problems. So I was like, yeah, I definitely need to go to the doctor tomorrow morning. So I scheduled an appointment. So I go into the doctor, they test my blood pressure, and it's like 215 over 160 or something ridiculous. It's like ridiculously spiked. The nurse was getting nervous. She goes, you need to go to the ER. You need to go to the ER now. She said, we're going to check your thing. So they prescribed Flomax to me because I was just complaining about the urination and the headache. So they sent me over to the ER. The ER, they checked out my chest. Everything's clear. I don't smoke. I don't drink. Everything's clear with my chest. My blood pressure's just really high. So they're like, we're going to get you on some blood pressure medicine, get you out of here. So they did an x-ray. On the x-ray, the doctor noticed on my blood test that my kidney levels had dropped. Like there was a level, or that it spiked, whichever the one is, it's the opposite of what you want it to be. It's like supposed to be a 1. It was like 3.5. And he said, that's very dangerous. Like you have a serious kidney problem. And I said, yeah. And he said, what did you come in here for? So I explained to him what I went in here for. And he said, yeah. He said, it sounds like you might have a problem with your kidneys. He said, we're gonna do some testing. I want to admit you and do some testing. And I was like, okay. So they admitted me and they came and did an ultrasound. The doctor looks at the ultrasound and says, your bladder is completely full. It's unusually full and it's pushing against your kidneys. And I said, well, I'll use the restroom. So I used the restroom, and the doctor came back in and said, no, you don't understand. Your bladder's still like ridiculously full. There's no way you could have emptied it. There's something else going on. We want to put a catheter in and drain your bladder and see what happens. So I was like, really? I just went and look, I went like this much, and the nurse is like, I don't understand why he's getting a catheter. He went, and the doctor said, no, he's still full, so we need to check it. So they gave me a catheter and emptied out 2 liters of urine. 2 liters. It's 1,800 milliliters. That's like an unbelievable amount. Like my bladder was completely, and that's the problem, is my bladder was stretched out. It had been going on for so long that I've had problems with my prostate for so long that it's been stretching my bladder, and I haven't been, going like I'm supposed to be. And it was pushing up against my kidneys, causing my blood pressure. All this is caused from this one little thing, causing my blood pressure to go sky high. So they admitted me. I had to stay in the hospital until Wednesday. They released me on Wednesday. I came home with the catheter Wednesday. They just took it out today. Today's Monday. So I had to have the catheter in because they were afraid if they took it out that my prostate would be puffed up and close up, and I'd be back in the same situation. Anyway, so this is the health issues that I've had. So my blood pressure, they gave me blood pressure medicine, dropped right down to normal levels. My blood pressure's normal. I feel a lot better. I've lost 25 pounds since January, which is great. So I'm on schedule to be losing what I wanted to lose. I want to get down around 180, 190 pounds. I'm getting there. I'm actually getting there faster than I thought, but I don't want to go too fast because I want it to stay off. I'm much healthier now than I was in my last video. I went to the doctor today. They took the catheter out, and he said, the urologist said, because my bladder was so large, it's not going to shrink right down right away. So I need to be able to urinate properly. Otherwise, it's going to come back again, and the problem's going to come back. It's going to keep stretching my bladder out, and they're going to have to do an operation. So, and they're going to also have to put the catheter back in to keep it from causing the problems that I had before. So today by 1 o'clock, it's noon now, I need to be able to use the restroom, like properly. So I've been drinking a lot of water. I want it to go away. I want this to work without having to go back and get this miserable thing put in me. I worked on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday too. I went to work with this. I still worked. I'm just like that. If I feel good, I'm doing it. I'm going. And I feel great right now because I finally got this thing out of me. I finally start feeling more normal. I'm able to move around and do stuff. So that's why I'm making this video for you guys. Anyway, that's my quick story. If anybody has anything else they want to add to this, I know it's a little TMI, a little too much information, kind of personal, but you guys are, watching my channel, you might be wondering what the hell's going on. Where's he been? Haven't seen any more videos about the microphone. Hasn't seen any more videos about Nikon's new, cameras, and about how the Z6 III is, been leaked, and how the new firmware on the Z8 is, and all this other type of stuff that's been going on. Well, that's why. One thing, I was trying to get healthy, and I felt like crap every weekend, so I couldn't do the videos on the weekend because I just felt terrible. And the other thing was, once I finally did get in the hospital, then I got this thing, and I'm uncomfortable, and I can't be standing up and making these videos. And whew, the first day when I came back on Wednesday, I was going to go to work Wednesday night, but I came back and I went in my room, and I'm sitting down on my chair, and I had the catheter in. I'm sitting there, and I got up to go in the restroom for something, and I think I stood up too fast or something, because I came back and I felt kind of dizzy. I started sweating. I had to lay down and breathe. I was about to pass out, and I was afraid. I was afraid that I was about to pass out and hit the floor and knock myself out or something. So I grabbed my phone and laid down with my phone just in case I needed to call an ambulance or something, because nobody's here. I don't have anybody here to help me. But anyway, look, everybody, take care of yourselves. If you're feeling funny, if you're starting to have an issue with something, I told my dad about this, and he was like, maybe I need to go to the doctor and get Flomax for my problem. I said, yes, go to the doctor. Have them prescribe you Flomax. You don't want to have the same problem as I have. Maybe it's working fine for you. Maybe it's not so bad, but it's a little bit bad. But you never know. It might start getting worse, and I didn't know it was that bad. I had no idea that it was not draining. I didn't know. I thought it was, draining out. But clearly I can tell now that no, I was not, my body was not functioning properly. Anyway, That's all I got to say, YouTube. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Take care of yourselves. Be good to each other. And I'll talk to you later. See ya.